Let's talk about right before you make your presentation. We talk about you guys made up your presentation, you packaged and bundled things, you got the piece of paper in your hand, and now you're ready to go meet the customer and tell them all the problems we have and all the solutions we have, right? Remember, would you ever talk about problems unless you had what? What would you have with you? You got to have solutions if you're going to have problems. Otherwise, don't mention the problems. How about if a customer comes to you early in the call and starts asking you, have you found what the problem is here yet? You know, Quentin, have you found out what it is? What would you say to somebody? Should you tell them what the problem is that you found so far? No, you have to have the skill and the mindset. Like, I'm not saying what it is right now because it's an incomplete solution. It's an incomplete problem right now. It's like watching the cake get half baked and having somebody want to try some of it. Is it going to taste very good if I got a half baked cake or half baked pie? No, it's going to take like a bunch of apples with some dough on it. It might not taste bad. But it's not as good as it is when it's nice crispy crust with the ice cream on top and it's all finished and you put it on a plate and give it to them, right? That's a lot better tasting when you do it that way. So when people ask you what have you found in the middle of your call, what are you going to say to put them off? What can you say? Go ahead, Dustin, you want to try it?
Yeah, I usually try and tell them up front, about how long it's going to take. I think that was one of the things you taught us is, it's going to take about 30 to 40 minutes maybe to go through the whole process. Or if you do come asked, then you're
going to need time. So identifying how much time it's going to take is an important factor up front. So in the very beginning, you could say it's going to take a while to do this. Now, if people start pressuring you on time, or not so much time, but pressuring you on solutions. So what do you find? Like the kind of huddling over your shoulder as you're looking at the air conditioning unit. Or you ever see that before, guys? Yeah, so what do you say to people? Go ahead and give us your clue. Marl, give him the mic. What is he?
I usually try to tell them that let me do a complete evaluation of the unit. Sometimes a problem might not show up until later at the end, and they usually let me go be able to go through the whole complete system.
Yeah, just say, listen, John, I'm going through the whole system here, and I'd appreciate it if I had a little more time. I don't want to give you a incomplete conclusion here. It wouldn't be malpractice for me to tell you the wrong thing. Right, just tell people it'd be malpractice for me to tell you what's going on right now because I'm in the middle of it right now. Just give me some time on this, right? It's like a doctor. You couldn't tell a doctor, give me your conclusion in the middle of the diagnosis he's going through, right? I got some tests to do. What kind of tests you doing? Well, we're going to get to that as soon as we get the test done. He'll tell you what the test is all about and how it's going to go, but he's not going to tell you what the meaning of the test is if he's a good doctor until at the end of the whole thing is done and see if it's conclusive or not. Then we're going to reveal what the test shows us at the end of the thing, right? So same with you guys. You cannot reveal it too soon. If it's easy to do, now let me ask you a question. If your work is easy to do, if you go to people and say, oh, I got it, it's easy, we found the problem, thank God it's really easy to do. Is that going to make it more valuable or less valuable? But how many times have we done that before, guys, where you try and make the customer feel better or make ourselves feel better that we can nail this one easy? I've done this one hundreds of times before. Or you get there and you look at something real quick, yeah, it's probably the igniter. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's a fan motor. Like you broadcast what you think it is. You're like thinking out loud right now. You see what's going on here? Like, oh, yeah, look at this. Oh, yeah, the Freon line's frozen up. It's probably low on Freon, or could be a band fan motor, or it could be coils blocked up, or filter. It might even be a filter. If you're doing all that stuff in front of a customer, you're talking out loud like that, does that inspire confidence in your buyer that you're a expert technician, knows what he's doing? You're kind of exploring in front of him like this? No. Not really, because he'd like to have more conclusive expert opinion. When you are thinking out loud, you're probably providing the information the customer needs to say, I need to find somebody else who knows what they're doing here. That might be why somebody says, I need to call somebody else. It might not be the prices. It might be the fact that whatever the price is, this guy is not solid on his opinion. He's not 100% conclusive on what he's going to do, what course of action he's going to take here. Would you guys agree with that? That's probably the thing that's holding it back. The price is, we already said that the price is no consequence, right? If I said a car costs $50,000, we all put a value high or low on that. It depends on what you get for the price. Wouldn't you agree? And so if I'm getting a kind of a half-baked, I'm not sure about the solution kind of solution, is that going to be very valuable to a customer? So whatever the price is, if it's $150 for something that should be $500, they're still going to complain because you're not certain on that conclusion. So the money warning is part of this whole thing. Understand the money, it's like stretching a rubber band. The money warning has got basically 4 different parts to it. There's a part where I'm going to understand, I'm going to stretch a rubber band, I'm going to create dissonance. Am I going to say it's easy to do this repair? No, it's the opposite of easy to do. Every repair is difficult. If it wasn't difficult, then they would be doing it themselves. They wouldn't need an electrician. They wouldn't need a plumber. They wouldn't need an HVAC guy. Correct? Just like hit a breaker. Just because my bionic air cleaner shorted itself out, so my breaker went out. So yeah, I just reset the breaker, and it was easy to do, right? People don't call an electrician for that kind of a thing. They call an electrician because they try to reset the breaker, it doesn't reset, or the outlet is reset, but the outlet still doesn't work. So something like that happens. If you're an HVAC guy, they try the thermostat up, down, 60. You get there. How many times do you see a thermostat, like in air conditioning season, it's down to like 60 degrees or 55 degrees. It's pegged. God, I'm trying to get that cooling to work harder. Does the thermostat work any better if it's pegged down low or high? I'm trying to get the hot in here. They got to 95, and it's still not getting past 55. Something wrong with the thermostat. They probably tell you, right? So that's the thing about it, is that it's always understand this. When you go to people with the problem, make the problem always serious. The problem is, and it always is serious. Any problem in a piece of equipment or a drainage system or electrical system, what can it lead to eventually? If I have a problem with a furnace, and let's say inducer motor is not working correctly, or the pressure switch is not working correctly, what's the worst thing can always happen to a furnace? What can that lead to eventually?
Carbon monoxide.
Could lead to that. It could lead to overheating of the heat exchanger. It could lead to all kinds of stuff. If the burner's not burning correctly, if the ignition system's not working correctly, what can that lead to? Nobody set the gas pressure right. What could go wrong with this thing eventually? Bad heat exchanger. Every problem in the furnace, if the fan motor stops working properly, it's blocked up, does that impact the life of the equipment? Every repair on everything, drainage systems, plumbing delivery systems, water delivery systems, hot water systems, every component that would break down will eventually lead to the demise of the system if it's not taken care of properly. Can you agree with that? That's the ultimate conclusion, is that if we don't get this thing fixed, my greatest fear is it's going to lead to something bigger. And you could even say that as your money warning. Part of you could say, John, I don't like what I'm seeing. What I always started out with is, like, I go to people and say, I don't like what I'm seeing. What's going on? It immediately gets attention. Yeah, what's going on is we have a mechanical fault in the water delivery system right now. Oh my goodness, that sounds serious. Well, it is. I mean, it could lead to the demise of the drywall inside this room. It could flood this. It could come to my greatest fear is it would come to the ceiling right now. Right now, we're looking at some of the joints on these pipes. They're happening just outside the family room here. They're not inside the wall and whatnot. So I want to get this, but I got some solutions for you. Okay, I got some ways of getting this thing fixed. So I go right from I don't like what I'm seeing, right into, don't worry, I got some solutions for you though. Does that immediately make you feel better about this? Yeah, oh, thank God. What's wrong? So what's wrong with the thing? Well, right now we have a mechanical fault. We have electrical fault in the air movement system. Basically, 30% of your furnace is inoperative right now. The ignition part works, and the combustion removal part's working, but the air movement part is not working right now. We have an electrical fault there. Oh, God, what are we going to do about it? Well, I got some solutions for you. Don't worry, John. Now I explain the solutions. So the first part is just tell them it's a serious problem, but I got solutions. The second part, here's the exact problem. And the exact problem is always blank fault in the blank system. Not a bad fan motor. It's whatever part of the system it is, right? Let's test you. Ready? Here you go. We have a bad igniter. What is it, Dustin?
Electrical fault in the ignition system.
We have a evaporator coil that's it's the wrong kind. Somebody left the old evaporator coil with a new unit.
We have a improper installation, or
what kind of fault is it? Design, installation?
Design
fault?
Design fault.
In the what?
In the cooling.
What is that? What does the evaporator coil do?
Heat removal.
Heat absorption, or heat removal, right? Heat removal, that absorbs heat. I like to say it absorbs heat, right? So what is that? It's part of the equipment that absorbs the heat inside here. That's all you got to tell them. It's a design fault in the heat absorption system. I'm happy you were kind of struggling through it. I want to see, because people, I'm sure when they watch the DVDs, are going to have the same thing, like this verbal packaging. It means something. It's not like you can just think, I should do this. You better do it, Chief. Otherwise, if you say it's a bad evaporator coil, what they're going to be doing is going on the internet and searching the model and serial number of this unit and finding what kind of coil they should have and saying, oh, it's only $250. I can get it over at PartSmart or whatever type of thing, or some kind of a online clearinghouse. Oh, they got it on sale for $195 even. You know what I'm saying there? So that's why it's a heat absorption system. Go ahead and search heat absorption system on the internet. What's going to come up then? That's why you got to change the language for today's world. You can't call it a contactor. It's what?
Power distribution.
Okay, so you got like you got a bad contactor. What is it?
You got a mechanical fault in the power distribution center.
I call it the voltage delivery system. It's voltage distribution system, right? Well, you can say power. It's okay. So that's I go with what you're saying. Just say it with confidence, Mike. Don't say it like you don't know what the hell you're saying.
You don't know what the...
Like don't say it like you're constructing it. Sit in the truck or sit in the backyard and let's practice this a few times. Before you go to the customer and say, here's what it is. Say, I have electrical fault in the power distribution system. I have electrical fault in the power distribution system. What's going on, Mike? Well, I don't like what I'm seeing, Bob. What's going on? Well, we have a electrical fault in the power distribution system right now. 30% of your air conditioning unit outside has got a fault in it, the electrical part of it. Oh my God! Tell me show me the parts. Well, it's all these components right here. 30% of the whole equipment is an electrical fault in there. Oh God! What are we going to do? Well, I got some solutions for you. Right? The top solution you're not going to like. It's too good. But I have other solutions that are going to be a little bit more economical. You like them better. Either way, do me a favor. Don't shoot the messenger. Just listen to all the options I have. Let me know which one you like the best. Okay? And that's how it is. That's called the money warning, right? They just did the whole money warning right there. Sounds simple, but boy, I see so many people screw it up. You want to see something screwed up? Let's try it right now. Try it. Who thinks they got it? You got the money warning? It's very simple, isn't it? Let's try it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The first thing, don't like what I'm seeing. Got some major problems on this unit. What's going on? Well, don't worry, I got some solutions for you, okay, Bob? All right, well, what's going on here? Well, right now we have an electrical fault in the power distribution system. That'd be your contactor, right? Basically, it's disconnected the voltage. The voltage is coming into the unit. It's not going through this power distribution center, and it's winding up not getting electrical power to the rest of the components here. But I got some solutions for you. So when you say I got some solutions, it refocuses away from the parts now and onto your presentation now. Now understand, you're going to people with the paper in your hand right now at this point, right? I got some solutions. Oh, what is it? So he's not focused on the parts anymore. He's focused on this now. You're refocusing them or shifting the focus. Otherwise, if you obsess about the parts over here, they're going to tear it apart and say, well, that can't cost more than $5 for that stupid thing you're talking about. Even just wires, right? So that's why I have to shift the focus. So I got some solutions for you right here. Now, top option I worked up here includes the best way of doing this is the most permanent way. You're probably not going to like it, but I do have some other ones that are going to be better. You're probably going to like better, a little more economical. Either way, do me a favor and don't shoot the messenger. Just go ahead and look at all the options and see what you think. Something like that it could sound like. That's just, I did a slightly different way. But what do I do? Don't like what I'm seeing. I got solutions. Here's the problems, the fault in this system. I got solutions for that. The top option you're not going to like. It's too premium, too good. Probably too high of an investment. The other ones, more economical. I probably like those better. Solution. Either way, don't shoot the messenger. Take a look at all of them. Get a commitment now to have the buyer not freak out on you when he sees all these options. You need to get this commitment to say, John, just do me a favor. Just look at all the options and don't get too mad when you see the first one, okay? Because you're probably not going to buy that one anyway. Just tell them. You're not going to just please commit that you won't get too mad when you see all these. Now, if you do that before you show the prices, will people commit to that? Yeah, because what do they want to see? They're so close they can taste them. Are they going to say, no, I'm not going to promise, I'm not going to freak out on you? No, I'm going to get mad about this. They're not going to do that. They're going to go with the flow because you know what? They see your rhythm and pace. Remember the card trick? There's a rhythm and pace that's going on here that people don't want to get in the middle of. They're like, this is how this guy does his business. I'm just listening to what he goes on. You ever been stopped in the middle of this stuff, Quentin? You ever been stopped in the middle of this stuff, Dustin? You go into the whole thing and you start getting this part of it done? Nobody's going to put a stick in your spokes on this. But don't stop and stumble. You have to know, you have to have a pace and a rhythm to this thing. And he has to go into the presentation. Now I'm ready for the presentation. Now that's my money warning. I'm getting people, now let me ask a question. How does that impact the price of what we're doing here today? Just that part of it alone. What do you think?
Raise it.
Does it raise the value or price in people's mind? Because you're taking it seriously now, right? Before you were all happy-go-lucky talking about our kids and Little League and that type of stuff. And all of a sudden you're like a different person now. And the guy's like, man, this guy with this much experience is kind of, he thinks I'm going to get upset about this? This must be a lot of money. He's not taking this lightly, right? If you're not taking it lightly, like you're not all Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky here, you're creating what's called dissonance. Now, dissonance, of course, makes people feel like, oh my God, I just want to get out of this dissonance. The best way to get out of dissonance is to do what?
Have a solution.
And then do what with the solution if you're a homeowner? Just pick one. If you pick one, all dissonance is gone now. Whew, we're back to harmony. You see how it works? You see how people search for harmony? So if you go in harmonious to begin with, there's no dissonance, so there's no way to, I have no harmony to search for. I'm already finding a way to get rid of you at this point. You're going to be pretty much gone. All right, so that's basically the whole money warning, stretching your rubber bands. 4 parts. Don't like what I'm seeing. Don't worry, I got some solutions. Explain the problems, and then tell people you have different options, some more premium, some more economical. Either way, give me a commitment to look at all the options and don't shoot the messenger. Hey, Deb, you got a few minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did find the problem with the electrical power being out in half the house.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was a lot worse than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But I do have some solutions for it.
Okay.
Okay. So I got to tell you right now that there's a electrical fault with the municipal entry power system. Basically, the power coming in from the city into your home has got electrical fault in it.
Okay.
But I do have some solutions for it. That's the good news.
All right, good.
The top option is going to be a little bit more a higher investment. It's probably a more permanent way of doing this. And the bottom options are more a temporary kind of a Band-Aid fix for it. Either way, I want you to look at all the options and do me a favor and don't shoot the messenger. Just look at all the things. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
Hey, Deb, you got a few minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went ahead and took a look at that tankless hot water heating situation you had down there.
Okay.
And before I continue, though, when I first got here, what did you mention about making a decision today on this thing?
Well, we wanted to get 3 estimates and see what everybody had to say about it.
Okay. Well, here's what I did. I worked up 6 different estimates for you, 6 different solutions for you. And so, but, you know, here's the thing I can do. I could wait till later on and come back when you're more prepared, because you still got 2 other guys coming. Or I could show you the 6 they have now. I mean, I wouldn't want to restrict you to. I'm not sure why you'd want to restrict yourself to only having the 2 estimates. You sure you wouldn't rather have 6?
Oh, definitely. Let me take a look at it.
But here's my thing. I mean, what happens if I show you the 6 and you like something? What about the other guys?
Well, I would definitely cancel them.
You would? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if I showed you the 6 estimates, and let's say I showed you something you liked and you liked the right price, what would happen then?
Well, then we would go ahead with it.
And let's say I showed you the 6 and you didn't like them, what would happen? Would you say no to me? Would you at least tell me no?
Definitely no.
Now, I'll tell you what. If I show you all 6 things and you're still confused, I'll just disqualify myself, because I'm not in the job of confusing customers, okay? So if I confuse you, let's just say I'm not a fit at that point. You can just hire one of the other 2 guys then, okay?
All right.
All right, so I did look at the situation a little bit deeper, and it is a little more serious than I thought. It's a little harder to deal with, and it's a little more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
No.
Yeah, but that's okay. I can work through it. I found some solutions and ways to get around it, okay?
Okay.
I got to tell you right now is that right now there's a restriction fault in the water delivery system where the water, that's why the shower is always very weak on the 2nd floor. Mm-hmm. I found right now there's a very big restriction in that piping, which is causing a weak flow to that 2nd floor. But I do have some solutions to get that fixed.
Good.
As well as some ways to get that tankless hot water heater to work in this house too.
Okay.
Now, the top option of way of doing this is the most premium way of doing it, where it's the most permanent solution, the best services. This is like the one the people up in Lake Forest get. You know, they buy this one.
Okay.
And the ones at the bottom are more kind of the more basic ones. So I'm not sure what you're going to like, but I do have 6 different ways of looking at this. Either way, do me a favor, Deb, and don't shoot the messenger. Just look at all 6 and let me know what you think, okay?
Okay.
Take a look. Hey, Deb, you got a few seconds?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did find out what was going on with that main sewer being clogged up down there.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a lot worse than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we got some major problems on there, but I do have some ways of fixing it, okay?
Okay.
Now, here's what's going on. We have a restriction fault in the main sewage removal system. That's from the house to the street.
Okay.
So I do have some solutions to fix it, though. Now, the top option is the most premium way, where I can give you the most permanent solution and the best services on this thing. You're probably not going to want this one. This is like the one that only the people who want the most permanent way get this way of getting it done. I do have some more economical solutions. Do me a favor, Deb, and just take a look at all 6 options and just don't shoot the messenger, okay?
Okay.
All right, here's what we got.
All right.